Courage, duty, sacrifice, and leadership have continued to define the capacity of the Nigerian Army in protecting the territorial integrity of the country. Brave men and women in uniform have continued to be the forefront of war fronts and theaters of operations to ensure you and I have peace and security. Hello, thank you for joining us on yet another episode of Soja Weekly Update, your #1 military program that provides you insight, breaking news, and up-to-date information on the activities of the Nigerian Army. Of course, this is episode 26 in our consistent commitment to always bring you news and information about your army. I am Francis Kabile, your host. This news program is always on our YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and X on Nigerian Army Info TV. So always watch and follow us on this episode and our previous episodes. Do join us again shortly. Thanks for rejoining us. Make sacrifices to ensure a peaceful, safer, and secured Nigeria as Chief of Army Staff prioritizes troops' welfare. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, has charged the Nigerian Army troops to make necessary sacrifices to maintain peace and security in the nation. The Army Chief gave the charge recently while addressing troops of 22 Armored Brigade, Nigeria Army Institute of Science, Education and Technology, and those of the Nigerian Army College of Education, Ilorin, respectively. The Chief of Army Staff, during his engagement with the troops, further assured them of his commitment to improve their welfare by giving adequate attention to barracks infrastructure, improvement of schools for their children, medical services for their families, and provision of necessary kits and platforms to enable them perform their jobs satisfactorily. General Oluyede recognized that troops' ration cash allowance was recently enhanced to spur them to make more sacrifices in keeping the nation peaceful and united. He stated that without a peaceful environment, no form of development can take place. He therefore enjoined the troops to strive to eliminate all threats for peace and security of the nation. He reiterated that Nigerians are looking up to them to keep the nation safe, secured and united, while assuring them of his unflinching support to ensure that they succeed in all their assigned tasks. Now, Major General NWACHUKWU bows out as pioneer female acting director, Army Public Relations, assumes command. In a symbolic ceremony, Lieutenant Colonel Onyechi Apollonia Anile has assumed command as the pioneer female director of Army Public Relations in acting capacity, marking a significant milestone in the Nigerian Army's efforts to promote diversity and gender inclusion. In a ceremony held recently at the Nigerian Army Headquarters Conference Center, Abuja, Lieutenant Colonel Anile took over from the immediate past Director of Army Public Relations, Major General ONYEMA Nwachukwu, whom has been redeployed to the Nigerian Army Heritage and Futures Center, Abuja. Speaking during the handing and taking over ceremony, Lieutenant Colonel Onyechi Anile expressed gratitude to the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, for the opportunity to serve as the Army spokesperson.
I owe this opportunity to the visionary leadership of the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Oluyede, Nigerian Army Leader. So I thank you most sincerely for finding me worthy of this appointment. I assure you and the entire leadership of the Nigerian Army that I will justify this confidence by remaining absolutely loyal, committed, focused, and driven.
The acting director paid a glowing tribute to her predecessor, acknowledging his passion, resilience, and professionalism, which have laid a solid foundation for the directorate and enhanced the Nigerian Army's image and strategic communication. She applauded the vital role of defense correspondents in reporting military activities, the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, and other strategic partners.
Especially my boss, Major General NWACHUKWU, whose passion, resilience, and professionalism has laid a formidable foundation and transform the Directorate of Army Public Relations into a greater height and its enviable state.
In her call to action, the Acting Director of Army Public Relations called for continuous support of the Nigerian Army as it works tirelessly in conjunction with other sister security agencies, as she pledged to continue telling the Nigerian Army's story through actions that reflect honor, sacrifice, and service to the nation.
To the dedicated officers and soldiers and civilian staff of this great directorate, I thank you all for your enduring commitment. Your collective efforts have kept the directorate effective and respected. Therefore, I count on your continued support and cooperation as we work together to further enhance the directorate capacity and relevance. To our friends of the media, particularly our defense correspondents, you are our partners in progress. I commend your professionalism in reporting military activities, and I encourage you to sustain the tempo.
In his valedictory remarks, the immediate past director, Major General ONYEMA NWACHUKWU, highlighted the modest achievements of the directorate under his stewardship.
Today, I dare to say with confidence that I did not merely react to these challenges. I boldly confronted them head-on with innovation, vision, and purpose. One of the major milestones was the retooling of the directorate with cutting-edge multimedia equipment, positioning us to respond swiftly and professionally to both operational and non-operational media engagements. I ensured the acquisition of modern cameras, editing suites, audiovisual systems, and digital communication tools necessary to thrive in the fast-paced global media space.
The event was marked by the signing of handing and taking over notes, the presentation of the command flag, and the decoration of the acting director with the insignia of the Directorate of Army Public Relations. The assumption of command ceremony was attended by senior officers, DAPR deputy directors, acting deputy directors, and assistant deputy directors from within and outside the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Lieutenant Colonel Anele Apollonia, a renowned member of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, previously served as the public relations officer to the former Chief of Army Staff. Until her latest appointment, she served at the Department of Civil Military Relations, Defense Headquarters. Congratulations to the new Army spokesperson. And now to operational matters. Troops neutralize terrorists, arrest wanted bandits, military imposter, recover weapons in ongoing operations across Taraba states. In continuation of the intensified efforts to rid Taraba state of criminal elements, troops of 6th Brigade Nigerian Army and Sector 3 Operation Wild Stroke have recently recorded yet another operational successes under the ongoing clearance operation codename Operation Lafia Jama'a. Acting on credible intelligence on the movement of suspected bandits between Mayokan and Bondogri villages in Bali local government area, a fierce exchange of gunfire ensued, resulting in the neutralization of 2 terrorists, while several others escaped with gunshot wounds. Items recovered from the scene include 1 AK-47 rifle, 1 AK-47 magazine, 4 rounds of 7.62mm special ammunition, 1 single-barrel Dane gun, 27 arrows, and 6 cutlasses. As the operations intensified, troops of 6th Brigade further received a distress call from a local hunter and swiftly mobilized to a suspected bandit camp at Dosen Kachala in Linde Lao local government area. Upon sighting the approaching troops, the criminals fled into the mountainous terrain. The troops pursued and successfully recovered 1 AK-47 magazine, 1 AK-47 rifle bullets, 1 military headgear, and a national identification card belonging to one Adamu Umaru Jauro. Meanwhile, acting on credible intelligence, troops apprehended 1 Yusuf Hamadu, also known as Dogo, in Lande Jesse, Lao local government area. The suspect has been on the watch list of security agencies for his involvement in several criminal activities. During preliminary interrogation, he confessed to being a member of a syndicate responsible for multiple kidnappings and ransom collections in Jalingo, Adokola, Lao, and Yoro local government areas of Taraba State. In another successful operation, troops arrested one Richard Ongo, who had been parading himself as a 7th major in the Nigerian army. The suspect falsely claimed to be posted to 20 Model Battalion Gashaka. During a preliminary investigation, Ongo claimed he was discharged as a flight sergeant of the Nigerian Air Force and was discharged from service since 22nd November 2019. Ongo reportedly swindled several individuals by impersonating military personnel. Notably, he fraudulently exchanged his Nissan Jeep for a Toyota Corolla worth 5.2 million naira from a car stand owned by Alhaji Ishaka Donga, promising to pay the balance, which he failed to do. He also collected 1.6 million naira as deposit for supplying 350 bags of Beneseed and extorted money from locals in Bali and Gasso local government areas under the guise of recruiting their children into the Nigerian army. He even claimed to be the officer commanding the forward operating base in Bali while attempting to illegally procure firearms for community leaders. While commenting on the operations, the Commander 6th Brigade Nigerian Army, Brigadier General Kingsley Uwa, reiterated the Nigerian Army's commitment to ensuring lasting peace and security in Taraba State and called to the general public to continue providing timely and credible information to aid ongoing operations. General Uwa also cautioned the public against prioritizing individuals who demand money or material items in exchange for military recruitments, emphasizing that enlistment into the Nigerian Army is voluntary, free, and merit-based. In Niger Delta, troops arrest 23 suspected oil thieves, recovered over 180,000 liters of stolen products across Niger Delta. Troops of 6th Division Nigerian Army have continued the onslaught against oil thieves and associated crimes in the Niger Delta region. In the latest operations conducted between 21st to 27th April 2025, troops working in close synergy with other security agencies arrested 23 suspected oil thieves, successfully deactivated 13 artisanal refineries and confiscated over 180,000 liters of stolen products in Rivers, Delta, Akwa Ibom, and Bayelsa states. Meanwhile, the General Officer Commanding 6th Division Nigerian Army, Major General Emmanuel Eric Emeka, has called on troops to sustain the pressure on all forms of economic sabotage in the region. He equally called on the good people of the region to continue to support military operations by providing credible information on the activities of criminals in their domain to security agencies. Finally, 16 kidnapped passengers rescued in Plateau as troops intensified operations. Troops of 3rd Division Nigerian Army and Operation Safe Haven have rescued 16 passengers kidnapped along Jos Mango Road in Plateau State. The rescued operations began when troops conducting Operation Lafia Jama'a discovered an empty vehicle abandoned by the roadside at Mararaban Kantoma in Mango local government area of the state. The troops immediately searched the nearby bushes to trace the occupants of the vehicle suspected to have been kidnapped. The kidnappers, on sighting the troops, opened fire, but own troops overwhelmed the criminals with superior firepower, forcing them to abandon their victims and fled. Troops exploited the general area and rescued all 16 adopted passengers, which include 6 children. Troops administered first aid to some of the rescued victims who sustained minor injuries during the incident. Thereafter, troops escorted the victims to safety to continue their journey to Jos Metropolis. Meanwhile, troops are on the lookout for the fleeing kidnappers suspected to have sustained gunshot wounds during the encounter with troops. Operation Safe Haven reiterates its commitment to protecting lives and property within the joint operations area, while troops remain motivated to deny miscreants freedom of action. As we go for now, remember, we all owe it a patriotic duty to always support our gallant soldiers and officers who are putting their lives on the line for our security day and night. Until we come your way again in our new and fresh episode of Soja Weekly Update. But before then, keep company with our previous episodes on YouTube while following us on Instagram, Facebook, and X for latest updates from the Nigerian Army. Thank you, and God bless you and bless Nigeria. I am Francis Kabile. Bye for now.